All right, hello and welcome. My name is Shauna. This is our FitEssentials intermediate class. We're here in Tumbleweed Park in Chandler, Arizona. Grateful for this nice, beautiful morning. Moose has some green grass to stretch out in, although he's choosing the yoga mat. So, you'll have that. Glad the puppy can be comfortable. As I was mentioning those here live, if you have one of those short TheraBands that you want to wear around your thighs, we're going to use that here in the beginning. Otherwise, I don't have it with me today, so don't worry, you'll still get a good workout without it. When you're ready, go ahead and come on up to standing and join me. Those of you wearing the blood flow bands, we have added air, so take some time to do that if you haven't already. And we're gonna do a standing cat-cow to get started. So just feet underneath those hips, draw the stomach in, send your hips back as you bring your hands to the bottom of your thighs, nice straight arms. And now just like a normal cat-cow, as you exhale, you're gonna round your shoulders forward, draw your chin in towards your chest, and as you inhale, softly arch, draw those shoulders back and down, and then match that to your breathing rhythm. Breathing out, chin in, arms nice and long. Breathing in, just slightly glide up, squeezing those shoulders back. A couple more times. Breathing out, shoulders roll forward, head bows down. Breathing in, nice deep cleansing breaths. Welcome, Sharon. One more time on these cat-cows. Fantastic. And then push through the legs and you're all done there. Standing up nice and tall. From here, we're going to work a little bit of balance work, a little bit more mobility. So coming up onto a single leg and roll that ankle around 5 to 10 times in one direction. And then go ahead and switch directions 5 to 10 times the other way. Fantastic. In between sides, set it down, couple of hip circles, 3 to 5 times each way. Loosen up those hips and low back. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, start to swivel the hips the other way. Very good. All right, ankle rolls on that second leg. Draw everything up, squeeze the shoulders back. Neck nice and long, lift through that chest as you practice that balance. Solid, good. Turn the ankle the other way. Very good. And set it down. All right, and then last stretch before we start to move here, quad stretch. Coming back to that first leg, grabbing the foot, looking to pull that heel towards the glute. Very nice. 10 more seconds. And then same thing, second side. Set it down, draw that second leg up, pull that heel back. Nice and tall with the balance, or steady yourself here as needed. Whether you're making it look easy. Good. All right, we're gonna get started here in about 15 seconds. Couple more stretches here on this quad. And set it down. Actually, I'll give you a little bit longer because maybe you want to get that short band out. So as mentioned, if you have one of those short bands, I only have a long band today, but if you do have a short band, this one is tied up. You want to bring it around your legs and put it just above the knees, bottom of the thighs. We're going to be starting with our lateral walk. Depending upon your space, anywhere between 3 to 5 steps in one direction, 2 to 3 squats when you get to that end, and then we'll bring it back. So set those feet, eyes up and forward, and 2, 1. Here we go. You're just standing down like a little quarter squat throughout. Take a nice wide step out. Come near the end of your space, sitting those hips back, pushing those knees wide between 2 and 3 times, working the depth, the range of motion in that squat, and then we're going to take it back the other way. You can work the arms a bit here or open the shoulders as you step wide, reach the arms out. As you step in, relax the arms in. Good. Now go back to your squats. If it's tough for you to get up and down, I recommend 2 reps. If you're feeling nice and smooth today, then take it for 3. Good. And you go just over a minute of work here. Getting that blood flow going, and then we're going to be coming down to the floor next. Fantastic. I'm going to go one more time down and back. We'll take about another 30 seconds. And when we do make our way down to the floor, we're going to start in like a child stretch position, because after we stretch that low back a bit, we're going to be lying on our stomach, working those snow angels. Fantastic, good. Try to make your way back to where you started. And then when you finish, making your way down to all fours. Fantastic. Go ahead and finish out those walks. We're coming down to the mat next. Starting on hands and knees, and you're gonna bring your toes together, walk those knees nice and wide, walk the hands out, and rock the hips back, lowering that head down. Breathing nice and deep into the back of the rib cage. Take about 3 nice deep breaths here. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, let's make your way onto your stomach. You're gonna draw the legs together. You're gonna start with the arms at your sides, palms up, chin in, squeezing the glutes. And then the snow angels are moving through the arms. So I reach the arms up to overhead, rotating the palms down towards the ground as I come past my shoulders. As I lower them back to my sides, palms up. All the while I'm trying to squeeze the glutes. Think about lengthening from the top of your head, the tips of your toes. Good, 15 seconds left. Once you know the movement, chin in, look straight down towards the floor. And anytime you start to feel uncomfortable in your low back, just take a pause. Breathing in, breathing out, and rest. Great job. Take a moment, back into child stretch. And now we're gonna roll over onto your back. We've got the glute bridge next. So as you come onto your back, we'll get started in about 15 seconds, but you can begin with that double kneaded chest where you hug the legs in and gently rock side to side. On this first round, we're gonna do a double leg glute bridge, just a regular, and then on the second round, you'll have the option if you wanna march. After you've loosened up that low back with that double kneaded chest, keep the knees bent, place both feet flat on the ground, adjust those shoulders as needed to have a nice open chest. And then when you're ready, draw the chin in as you raise the hips up. Use it as a warm up. Opening through the hips, loosen that low back, pulsing up and down. Fantastic exercise if you want to just relax those eyes closed and feel your body move. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you drive up. Try to focus to push through your full foot. Sometimes we'll tend to be back in the heels and we'll lift up those toes. So push the big toe down as well. We're halfway, another 30 seconds here. It's good practice to pause in that top position. Really try to wake up the glutes, firing that booty. Drawing that chin in towards the chest, lengthen that neck. Good, avoiding any pinching sensation in the low back or the front of the hips. Maybe one more time here, lowering down, raise on up, and pause. Fantastic. Return to that double kneaded chest, or if you feel like you can go deeper into that spinal twist, take it into the 2-knee twist. Arms to the side, both legs come across to one side. And then nice and smooth, scoop those legs across towards that other leg, turning and looking over the other shoulder. Okay, Moose, they're allowed to be here. Ah, wonderful. Maybe once more each way. When you finish that, we're gonna roll over. We're gonna come into down dog as we make our way back up to standing for round 2. So hands beneath the shoulders, turn those toes under. Gently pulse that head between the arms, maybe 3 to 5 times. Breathing in as you rock forward, breathing out as you rock back. Don't worry about the calves right now. We're going to stretch those on the next round. Rather, start to inchworm your way back to standing, walking the feet towards the hands towards the feet, and make your way on up. If for some reason you did take that band off your thighs, go ahead and readjust that band as needed. Otherwise, if you're ready to go, round 2 starts in 2, 1, and begin. So back to our lateral steps. Wide steps, holding that little quarter squat throughout. And then 2 to 3 squats at the end. Very good. Maybe moving just a little bit faster this time. Nice range. Good depth on that squat. Pulling down, driving up. Knees stay tracking out. Nice. 30 seconds in, just over 30 seconds left. Wonderful. Maybe just a nice gentle smile as you move, breathing through it. Good. more time, down and back. Excellent, good. Try to stay a little bit lower in that squat, Sharon, as you're stepping. You should kind of feel like you're holding a quarter squat as you move side to side. Fantastic. Even yourself out on both sides. When you finish, maybe back into child's position. And this time we're going to do a supinated child's, which simply means little fingers come together like you're going to hold a cup of soup. Knees come out. This is the one that's going to be hard for that band on the leg. So normal if you would take it off. Otherwise, you can kind of modify it, lowering that head down and breathe into the back. And when you finish that, returning to your stomach, working those snow angels. The legs come together, arms start at the sides, looking straight down. Squeeze the glutes if you can lift those feet off the ground if you want, kind of pointing the toes. And we're circling through those arms, chin in. Got another 30 seconds here, palms up, really squeeze those shoulders back and down. We're looking to wake up the back of the body. Imagine those stretched Armstrong dolls. If you remember those back in the day where you could stretch the body. 15 seconds left. And please listen to your body. If you have any discomfort in your low back with this movement, just take a pause. Otherwise, we're all done in 3, 2, 1, and coming back into child's for a short moment before we return to that glute bridge. Nice lengthening of that lower back as you come back into child's. Fantastic. And then making your way, final time to come onto your back for this circuit. Now on round 2, you can either stick with what we did on that first round, or if you want to work that glute bridge march, what it's going to look like is you're going to come up, you're going to hold that bridge position, and now we're going to really brace through those arms as we lift one leg up and then the other. So you hold the hips high throughout, and I'm going to that full extension with the legs, or you can just keep the knee bent and march it up and down. I kind of like to kick the leg up towards the sky. If you're choosing the marching version, it's really key that upper body helps to support. And you want to reestablish that double leg bridge throughout. When you put both feet down, readjust those hips, raise them on up. We are halfway through. Once you know the movement, center your head. Whew. Strong, good. Come a little bit closer. Nice work, Jean. Excellent, Kathy, good. Final 10 seconds. Hips a little higher, Sharon. There it is. Maybe one more on each leg. Up, down, and rest. Fantastic. Return to that double knee to chest or 2 knee twist. Your choice. Moose, hey, they're okay. Rock yourself side to side. That concludes our first circuit. We're going to make our way up. We're going to return to that down dog as mentioned on the last round. Now we're going to focus to pedal out those heels. Get a nice stretch for the calves. So hips nice and high, chin between the chin towards the chest. And walk out the heels. Very good. Once you get a nice loosening of those calves, whenever you feel ready, we'll start to inchworm your way up. Hands towards the feet, feet towards the hands, and come all the way up to standing. Thanks, Moose. Good job. All right, once you get up here, feel free to grab a drink of water. We're going to stretch the upper body just a bit, a little bit more opening through those hips, and then we'll get into our first series here in about a minute. So our tricep side bend, stagger your feet. Let's take your right leg, step it on back. You're going to push that back hip forward as you raise that right arm up, chin in, keep nice and long through that chest. Pulling that elbow back, hips forward, and then lengthen through your body as you bend towards that front leg. Try to squeeze your glute on that right hip. We'll go ahead and come out of it for a moment. Hips back, hips forward, chest up. Long spine as you bend to the side. And then on this second side bend, if you want to rotate, look up past your right elbow. and unwind, shake it out. Good job. So that should have been your right foot back. In between sides, we're gonna do our behind the back stretch. So I'm gonna walk those feet nice and wide, root down into the legs, ensure that midline's nice and neutral as I extend my arms back. And then keep that good solid bend in those knees, Jean, as you push those legs wide. And then send those hips back. Pull those arms up to overhead. Wonderful. You can lower that head down as well. Let that neck be nice and heavy. When you're ready on that next breath, back to standing. And we're going to balance ourselves out with that tricep side bend on the second side. So now it's going to be your left leg steps back. Keeping those feet hip width apart. Ribs down. Left arm raises up. Bend that elbow like you're trying to reach for a scratch on your back. Good. So hips forward with those eyes up. And then lengthen, bending to that side. Keeping your eyes forward on the first time. Breathe and squeeze that back hip. Good. Relax out of it for a moment. Rock the hips back. Rock them forward. Really lift up out of your chest and hips as you take it to the side. And now you can add that deeper rotation, looking up past your left elbow. And release. Fantastic. Good. Side step arm swing. All right, we're going to get started here in about 20 seconds. We're going to be doing a single arm thruster. So if you feel like you can start with some weights, we're going to be holding a weight in your left arm. You're going to squat all the way down and drive it up to overhead. We're working for 30 seconds. In between legs, we're going to work, or in between arms, we're going to work some hinging patterns. So when you're ready, go ahead and set those feet about hip width apart. Either hold a light weight up at your shoulder or make a fist. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Practicing that squat all the way down and then raising the shoulder up towards the ear. Breathing out, pushing high. Good. Eyes up and forward. Whenever we're holding weight on one side of the body, make sure you don't let yourself rotate through the torso. People tend to rotate away from the side that's holding the weight. Good. Breathing in to lower, breathing out as you push through the middle. One more time. And rest. Good job. I'm going to use that same weight. If you weren't using a weight, make sure you get a moderate weight. We're going to be working a deadlift next. So walk those feet nice and wide. Draw your stomach in. Keeping those knees pushing out. We're going to grab the weight and stand straight up. Bowing down. Squeeze the glutes and stand. Good. Over and up. On this first round here, we're practicing this deadlift movement. On the next 2 rounds, I'll give the option of also turning it into a high pull. If you have heavier weights and want to continue with the deadlift by itself, or if your low back's feeling a little bit catchy, then I would stick with the deadlift. Have nice control. Otherwise, we'll progress it on the next round. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. We're going to balance out the upper body and the hips. Coming back to that thruster, this time holding the weight in your right arm. Up at the elbows, set the feet for the squat, and here we go. It's our first of 3 rounds. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. Non-working arm reaches out as you lower down. Help encourage that chest to stay tall. And then push that elbow up and forward. Good. Sitting back into the heels. And 2, 1, and rest. If you are holding a weight, you're going to take that weight, hold it in your left hand, so switching hands as needed. Standing up nice and tall, turn the palm forward, and now we're going to do a single arm march. So rounds 1 and 3, we're going to hold the weight in your left arm, it'll be my right. On rounds 2 and 4, because this is 4 rounds, I may have said 3, we're going to hold the weight in your right arm, my left. Very nice. Palm forward, shoulder draws back. Couple more marches. And 2, 1, and take a short break. We're going to take 20 seconds, and we'll be back at the top, back with those thrusters of round 2. You can stay with the same weight. If you want to make any adjustments. Otherwise, we're going to make your way back to your left hand. Set the feet for the squat. And 2, 1. Second of 4 rounds. Breathing in, breathing out, either a similar cadence or slightly faster. As long as you're sustainable for the next 3 rounds. Anybody gets to where something's going on, either at the, if you're going on at the shoulder, doesn't feel good to push up to overhead, then just work the squatting portion. If something's going on with your lower body, where the squat doesn't feel just right, then work the upper body and rest. Good job. Back to that deadlift. Now, if you were listening to me in the progressions, if you want to do a high pull, I'm going to hold the weight with both hands. As I stand tall, I'm going to raise my elbows nice and high. So when you're ready to join me, bowing down, squeeze the glutes, elbows nice and high. Over, up, hold nice and strong. Excellent. Bowing down. You want to focus on elbows above the shoulders. Good. Breathing in. And now that I'm holding the weight horizontal to the ground, I'm just going to mid-shin. Maybe if I was holding a kettlebell, I'd have more space to feel comfortable to go all the way to the ground. Otherwise, mid-shin works great. Maybe one more time. Over, up, and rest. Excellent. Catch your breath. Making your way into your right arm, back to those thrusters. Set the feet. Make sure your midline's nice and neutral. And 2, 1, here we go. Breathing in, breathing out. Excellent. Solid. Sitting back into those heels, pushing your knees nice and wide. Super. Great rhythm. Looking strong, crew. 1 or 2 more. And pause. Excellent. So as mentioned, now you're going to be holding the weight on the right side. Same weight you used on set 1. Drawing that shoulder back. We're back into that march. Palm forward, chest tall. When we go into the 3rd and 4th round of this exercise, you can either go a little bit heavier with the weight, or on the later rounds, if you want to march with it up at your shoulder, that's that option as well. Otherwise, just less than 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and we're going to take 30 seconds. Grab some water. If you are wearing the bands, go ahead and let that air out or take them off. We are halfway through this circuit. We have 2 more rounds to go. Starting in 12 seconds. We'll have that weight back on your left side. Set the feet and begin round 3 of 4. Good. Wonderful. Everything looks the same, rep to rep. Similar breathing pattern. Want to kind of find that flow with your movements. Try not to fight it. It's that kind of that magical balance where you're working, but trying to work with ease. 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Reminder, in between sides, either the deadlift or working that high pull. Set the feet, draw the stomach in, bowing forward. 2, 1, when you're ready. So I would stand straight up for the deadlift, bowing down, standing tall, or bringing those elbows up above the shoulders. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you push through the legs, squeeze the glutes, stack those shoulders over the hips. Excellent, great mechanics, Jean. Yeah, Kathy, that looks great. Can't quite see the upper elbows, but I trust that your elbows are nice and high by the ears. 1 or 2 more times, down, up, and there's our rest. Good job. 15 seconds of transition. Heading back into that thruster. Now in your right side, or on your right side. Elbow up and forward. And second half of set 3. Breathing in, breathing out. Avoid holding your breath. Good. As we push up to overhead, Think about bringing that shoulder up towards the ear, bringing that weight right over the center of your head. Splendid. Gentle smile as you breathe. 2, 1, and rotate. We're back to our weighted march. Back to your left side, either at your waist, or as mentioned, we can work that front rack, holding it up to the shoulder. Elbow up and forward, march it out. Awesome. Take another 20 seconds here. Emphasize how tall can you lift your chest. Staying nice and level. Good, 10 seconds to go. Balance with that weight on one side. Don't let yourself tilt one way or the other. And resting there. Super. 20 seconds. We'll be back for our 4th and final round. If you're a little tired today, maybe rest on the squats. Maybe just join us for that final march. Or just make adjustments as needed. Back to your left hand. Set the feet. 2, 1. Round 4. We do have some lunging coming up in our next circuit, but this is all we have today for these double leg squats and our overhead work. 10 seconds to go. Make sure you don't bounce to the bottom, just control down and then drive high to overhead. Awesome. And rest. Good job. Deadlifts. Deadlifts are the high pull. Setting the feet nice and wide. Draw the stomach in so you're not arched through the lower spine. Gentle bend in the knees as we hinge at the hips. 2, 1. Here we go. So straight up and down, or the option of that upright row. Those of you working that high pull, imagine you have some strings attached to the elbows, pulling them up high above your shoulders. Awesome. In, breathing out. Good, and rest. Great work. Final set of squats, that overhead reach. Back to your right arm. 2, 1, and final time on the thruster. If you are resting this circuit, see if you can stay in, and we'll do that final march together. Kind of balance out your body with the marching today. Awesome. Halfway through these thrusters, 15 seconds left. Good, looks great. There you go. Nice, Jean, nice overhead position. Final rep, everyone. And done there. Keep the weight on that side of the body. If you march with something different, go ahead and grab it. Otherwise, elbow up and forward, 30 seconds to go. Stretch break coming up next. Very nice. Nice steady march. Fantastic. 10 seconds. Eyes up, chest tall. 2, 1, and we are all done. Nice work. Shake that out, grab a drink. Energy levels are low. Have this be your cool down stretch. If energy is solid or up today, have this be your in-between stretch. All right, I'm gonna use this tree here. We're gonna do a little opening for the upper body, pec stretch. If you have a wall or a doorway you can use, make your way over. Elbow right about shoulder height. Anchor it down on that forearm. Step forward, lean forward, and then rotate your body away from where you're stretching. Turning that head and neck, looking over that opposite shoulder. About 2 more nice deep breaths. And release. In between arms, we're gonna do our overhead wall stretch. So you're gonna place the hands about chest height. Walk your feet back, draw your belly in, and then lower that head down right between the arms. Breathing nice and deep into your back on that exhale. Invite your heart towards the ground. Couple more breaths. And release. When you're ready, come on up and then pec stretch on the opposite side. Anchor it down, inside leg steps forward, and then lean into it. Feel that stretch in your chest, turning that head and neck. Oh. Very good. And 3, 2, 1, come on off the wall. All right. So as mentioned, we're going to have some reverse lunges in this next series. But first, our first exercise, you can repeat the deadlift. Okay, if you want to break from the deadlift, you can go good mornings. If you don't feel like you want anything dynamic, or if you're up for a little bit more dynamic, we'll work the swing. Either one weight in between the legs, or you can use some lighter weights, hold them at the sides, bow forward, and drive the hips from there. Okay, so nice steady swing. As you're listening to me talk through these movements, let's have you all that are listening just do a little bit of side stretching here. So grab your wrist, bending side to side. And I'm just going to tell you about one more movement. After you do either that deadlift or the swing, we're going to come down to our forearms. If you could hold a nice strong plank for a minute or more, then it would be appropriate to work that drag through. So you can use probably a different weight than maybe you're deadlifting, or maybe the same weight that you might swing, and you'll pull the weight underneath your body. Okay. After the plank, we come up for our reverse lunge, and you'll either have a 30 seconds rest, or we can work some little rebounding hops in between sets. That's our movement, everyone. We're starting in 15 seconds. I'm going to show the deadlift on round 1, and then on rounds 2 and 3, I'm going to work the swings. If you're someone that has some heavier weights that you can deadlift with, you're going to get more benefit out of a heavier weight than that dynamic swing. So set the feet, draw that stomach in, establish that little bend in the knees, and 3, 2, 1, here we go. Hinging at the hips, squeeze the glutes and stand. Yep. And if anyone does want to work the swing on the first round, you're welcome to it. We're going to be doing 3 rounds. Breathing in to lower, breathing out as you stand tall. This first exercise is 30 seconds. And they're going to get a little bit longer as we move through. Good. Ensuring you squeeze those shoulders back and down so that weight stays close to the center of gravity. And 2, 1, take a pause. Forearm plank is next, option of the drag through. And once you get there, you can start. It's going to be a 45-second interval. So coming down to hands and knees, 3, 2, 1, when you're ready. Coming up on the toes if you can. You're working the drag through. Really key not to let those hips start to sag down. Have the eyes looking right between the forearms. Bending down, bringing it across. That's our first 20 seconds. Just about halfway through. There's 30 seconds in. 15 seconds left. If you do start to feel any discomfort in that lower spine, those hips are probably sinking down. So make sure you take a pause or come down to the knees and take a rest. Excellent. Making your way up to standing. Reverse lunge is our next exercise. If you know you want to add weight, you can hold it from the start, either at your sides or in front of the chest. I'm going to go round 1 without the weight. Toes pointing forward, eyes looking up, and 2, 1, here we go. If you're not holding weight, reach those arms straight out in front. This is a minute-long exercise, so plenty of time. Key to keep that front shin vertical, heel driving down, eyes looking up and forward. Excellent. Stepping straight back. When I was working in person with Diane last week, she was kind of having some balance issues, and we realized when we were working in person, she was kind of stepping her foot behind her. So it was almost like she was trying to lunge on a balance beam. So keep those feet hip width apart. Excellent. Looking great. We're over halfway through. Nice and smooth. Very nice. One or two more. Back and forward, back and down, and take that rest. Good job. So either a full rest, or if you want to get a little bouncing in here, nice and light on the feet, jumping at the sides. Good. You can also just kind of lightly bounce, keeping your feet on the ground. Shake your body. 10 more seconds. Very good. All right, everybody. We're going to take just over 20 seconds, and then we'll be back for round 2. So either working the swings or back to those deadlifts. And as mentioned, I did say you could work a good morning. So if you want to just do a really simple hinging position, you can practice that good morning. All righty, I'm going to work the swings with some lighter weights at my sides. Draw the stomach in, stand nice and tall, little bend in the knees, and here we go. So you'll feel how with that swing, it's obviously more dynamic. So you want to breathe in as you send those hips back, breathe out. As you drive through those hips, your arms are just guiding. They're just like the straps. You're doing the work through your midsection. Excellent. And then you want to hold that head and neck nice and neutral. Chin in, looking down, and then eyes up, looking forward. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Quick transition down to that plank on your forearms. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Try setting your feet just a little bit wider than you maybe would for a push-up. Lots of times that will help, especially if you're doing the drag-through option. And then we tend to lose that head and neck forward. So be very aware of the position of your head, trying to kind of keep that head lifted up to stay in line with the rest of the spine. Don't start to lose that head and neck forward. Good, 10 seconds to go. Get all drawn in. 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Round 2 of 3 for the lunges. I'm going to hold some weight this time. Nice and light at my sides. Toes pointing forward. Draw those shoulders back. We'll start here in 5 seconds. We've got a whole minute, so just join us when you're ready and begin. Back and down, up and forward. Good. If you're not using weights, reaching those arms forward. Ensuring that chest stays tall. You can curl it up at your shoulders as well. Awesome. Beautiful. If you're holding up the shoulders, think elbows forward. Lightly tapping that knee down. Good. We're over halfway, everyone. 20 seconds left. You always want to just lightly kiss that knee and then focus on that front leg. Propel yourself up and forward. Awesome. Maybe one more each side. And 2, 1, and rest. Good. There we go. So either a full rest, or if you set that weight down, rebounding hops. You can choose to go side to side a bit if you'd like. Pumping those arms up and down. Good. And everybody pause. 20 seconds will be into our 3rd and final round. Back to the deadlifts or the swings. If you do have a heavy weight to lift, I'm going to be going back to the deadlifts on this last round. Picking up my heavier weight here today. Set the feet, draw that stomach in. Hinging at your hips. 2, 1, here we go. Over and up. Good. Long spine as you bow forward. Feel into those shoulder blades. Feel those shoulder blades squeezing back, and then keep that position as you bow your chest down. Awesome. 10 seconds. Looking down as you bow forward, looking ahead as you stand tall. 2, 1, coming back for the plank. Final round of plank. On the forearms. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. 45 seconds on this plank drag through. Oops. Dragging my mat for a little bit too big of a weight. Good. Pushing the palm and forearm into the floor as you switch hands. Drawing that stomach in throughout. "20 seconds left. Good. Building that midline strength to support that low back and your whole spine, your hips. Spine is very important, and that core is what supports it. Take that rest when you're ready. Very good. All right, we'll give a little longer transition. We're gonna take 20 seconds, and then we'll be up for our final minute of lunges. So see if you feel like you do want to hold weight. If not, I understand it's quite a long time to lunge. Starting in 10. If you were holding your weights at your side last time, see if you can hold it up at your chest this time. Toes pointing forward. Here we go. Nice controlled step back. And if you're feeling tired, then pause when you come up to the top. All right, if you're feeling good, then push that tempo. Excellent. Moving through. We always want consistency of movement before we go speed of movement. But then once you're confident with that consistency, you have that full range of motion. Now we can start to challenge ourselves with the speed. Over halfway. Great work. Yep, nice, Jean. Strong, Kathy. There you go, Sharon. Control the knee up and forward. Awesome. 10 seconds, everyone. Yeah, watch that wobble. Stay in control. Lightly touch. Good. 5 seconds. 2, 1, and everybody rest. Good job. Set the weights down if you were using them. And now let's have everybody join us. You can either jump or just really lightly bounce. Arms out to the side. You feel like you can bring your arms up to overhead. Woo! So imagine you're like a young kid at a party or at a concert, your favorite band is playing, and everyone says, let's celebrate. Good, 3, 2, 1, and all done there. All right, give yourself a round of applause. Let's grab a drink of water, and then we'll get in our cool down stretch. Nice job, Moose. All right, as you're drinking your water, staying up on your feet, we'll swivel through those hips a bit. And then when you're ready, take them the other way. Fantastic. From here, we're going to do our little toe touch. So standing tall, toes forward, draw the stomach up and in, chin down to the chest, and then just imagine trying to round like one segment at a time. Not locking out those knees, just a little bend in the knees, reaching down for the floor. And then when you get to that bottom position, a couple of nice deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. Let that head be heavy. And then when you're ready, making your way back up to standing. Fantastic. All right, if anyone needs any extra support on their knee, we're going to be coming into a lunge position for our cool down stretch. So feel free to grab a pillow or bring a block around. Otherwise, take your left leg, big step forward, and then the right knee is going to come down to the floor. Excellent. Once you're here, interlace the hands, raise those arms up to overhead, lifting up out of your hips, lift your chest, shift that back hip forward, squeeze in the glute, and then we're going to start with a rotation. Turn your torso like you're trying to look over that left shoulder. to go ahead and unwind, relax the arms down. From here, raise your right arm up. We're going to add that tricep stretch that we did earlier, bending the elbow, grabbing that elbow, push the hips forward, and now instead of rotating, you're going to side bend towards that front leg. Keeping the eyes up. You want to slightly look up past that right elbow. You can peer up to the side. Wonderful. And release from there. Good. Next, if you want to bring a block or a pillow by the front foot, you can. We're going to take the elbow of your left arm on the inside of your left knee, and then go ahead and slide down the inside of that shin and hover down by the instep of that front leg. Breathing into the outer part of your hip. Very good. From here, you're going to start to shift your hips back. Extend that front leg like you're going into like a little hamstring stretch, drawing the foot and toes back towards you. Just gently bowing forward. Go. A little bit different sequence than we've done before. And now we're going to come back forward and take that front leg into a pigeon position. So you're going to square the hips and shoulders best you can. That left leg kind of comes forward to that pigeon position. Extend that back leg. And your choice, whether you fold down here or stay tall. Make sure it's not painful. Kind of relax the face, draw the shoulders back and down. We're going to take about another 20 to 30 seconds here. If you do want to come forward and come low. So comfortably. Good. Couple more deep breaths. If you are down on those forearms, start to make your way back up to the hands. And now we're going to sit onto your left hip, and we're going to bring that trail leg around for our seated twist. And that will conclude our sequence on this side. Then we'll do the same thing on that opposite side. So sit tall, hug that leg in, and then work your right arm, reaching behind you, crawl those fingers back, and then turning that head and neck. Any version of seated twist that you like, you can also start to work your left elbow onto that right thigh, pushing into it. And 3, 2, 1, make your way out. I'm just giggling at the birds, making some fun noises. Unwind your body and then make your way back up to standing. We're going to go back into the lunge position. This time it's going to be your right leg forward. All right, so standing nice and tall, nice big step forward with your right leg, square the hips, bring that left knee down. Good. Interlace the hands, raise those arms straight up to overhead, lift up out of those hips as you invite that back hip forward, squeezing the glute. And now remember, rotation is first. Grab onto your left wrist, turn your body looking over your right shoulder. Go ahead and unwind there. Relax those arms down for a moment. And now we're going to go the tricep stretch. Raising that left arm up, bending the elbow, reaching around, hips forward, and then a long spine as we bend to the side. Keep drawing that chin in. If you want to go deeper, you can twist that head and neck, looking up past your left shoulder or left elbow. And relax from there. Good. Instep next. Right elbow on the inside of that right knee, sliding down the shin, hovering by the instep on that front leg. Nice. Now the head down. Breathe into the area that you feel that tension. Most commonly here, it's going to be mostly in that outer right hip. I do feel a little bit in my low back. It would be your left side of that low back on this side. Good, and when you're ready, we're gonna sit back onto the heel of your left leg and extend out that right leg. So try to extend that leg, draw the foot and toes back towards you. Very nice. Breathing here. Good, couple more breaths. And making your way out of that hamstring stretch and then into our final pigeon. So with your right leg forward, square the hips and shoulders. Coming on down, either staying up nice and tall or lowering down onto those forearms. So just over 30 seconds. Great job, everyone. Good session today. We're almost done here. I'm gonna take about another 15 seconds. So either stay low, or if you want to start to come back onto extended arms. And then when you're ready, we'll start to sit onto your right hip, and the left leg's gonna swing around for that seated twist. Sitting up nice and tall, hugging that leg in at first. And any version you want, using that opposite arm, crawling it behind you, working that elbow on the thigh. You know, some people do that reach around technique. Got some wonderful families of birds here this morning entertaining us, making your way out of that last twist there. And then let's come onto your back. Return to that double knee to chest. Rocking your body side to side. But if it feels like your hips want to open a little bit more, you can take it between 3 and 5 glute bridges as you set the hips down. I know my low back's feeling a little stiff, like I want to open up the front of my hips. Do a couple bridges here. As I cool down. Fantastic. And then once you finish that, make your way into that happy baby, working those elbows on the inner knees, grabbing the feet or the outer part of the shins. And then just gently relax, rocking side to side. Great exercise to close those eyes. If anybody wants to go deeper here, you can make your way into plow, working your feet over your head. And when you're all said and done, take a moment to relax those legs down, reach those arms up to overhead, and just let your body lay flat. Try to stretch your body from the tips of your fingers to the bottoms of your feet. Like you're just waking up first thing in the morning, and you're really trying to stretch it out. And then we'll just start to relax those arms down to the sides. I invite you to bring one hand onto your belly, one hand onto your heart. Just feel your body. Feel the belly rise and fall with the breath. You can tune into your heartbeat. Reflect on all those thousands of processes, all those different systems that the body's working as you're breathing and moving. I'm going to leave you all here. And thanks for moving with me. Look forward to moving with you next time.